Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira vanachari Jamunatira vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira vanachari Yamunatira vanachari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jai Gauda Nitai, Gauda Nitai, Gauda Nitai, Jaya Gauda Nitai. Radha Shama Sundaradha Shama Sundaradhi Prabhupada 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 Jaya Śrīla Prabhupada Nitai go Haribo 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 Nitai Nitai Gaur Haribo. Shri Radha Shama Sundar Lita Vishaka Devi ki jai, Shri Krishna Balarama ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 53. Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. Which text did we do? 38 and 39. I knew that, but the marker was somewhere else. Kinchitsu charitang yanas Tena tushtas trilokakrit Anugrahanatu grinatu Vaidarbhya paning achyutaha. So we'll read the translation and the next verse we'll repeat together. May Achyuta, the creator of the three worlds, be satisfied with whatever pious work we may have done and show his mercy by taking the hand of Vaidarbhi. Purport. The devoted citizens of Vaidarbha lovingly offered their entire stock of pious credit to Princess Rukmini. They were very eager to see her marry Lord Krishna. Text 39. Evaṁ prema-kalā-baddhā vadanti sma pura-okasaḥ kanyā cāntaḥ-purāt prāgād bhaṭair guptāmbikālayam evaṁ prema-kalā-baddhā vadanti sma pura-okasaḥ kanyā cāntaḥ-purāt prāgād bhaṭair guptāmbikālayam evaṁ prema-kalā-baddhā vadanti sma pura-okasaḥ kanyā cāntaḥ-purāt prāgād bhaṭair guptāmbikālayam. Evam prema-kalā-baddhā vadanti sma pura-okasaḥ cāntaḥ-purāt prāgād. Matajis? Evam prema-kalā-baddhā vadanti sma pura-okasaḥ. Evam, thus, prema, of pure love, kalā, by the increase, baddhāḥ, bound, vadanti sma, they spoke, pura-okasaḥ, the residents of the city, kanyā, the bride, cha, and antaḥ-purāt, from the inner palace, prāgāt, went out, bhaṭair, by guards, guptā, protected, ambikā-ālayam, ambikā-ālayam, to the temple of Goddess Ambikā. Translation, purport, by the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Bound by their swelling love, the city's residents spoke in this way. Then the bride, protected by guards, left the inner palace to visit the temple of Ambikā. Purport. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī quotes the Medinī dictionary's definition of the word kalā as follows: kalā, mūle, pravṛddhau, syāc, chilādāv, aṁśa-mātrake. The word kalā means a root, increase, a stone, or a mere part. Jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Rukmini and Krishna ki jai. Shivaratri ki jai. So today's auspicious day, Shivaratri, and very miraculously, by Krishna's arrangement, we're hearing about how Rukmini, under the tradition of the family, was worshipping the goddess Durga, Ambikā, Gauri, many names. So Lord Shiva, he is Vishnu, he's God himself, but he comes in a different role as Lord Shiva, the master of the material world. And Goddess Durga, Ambikā, Parvati, these are all different names. Many names are listed of the goddess. He's called Rudra, she's called Rudrani. They make people sometimes cry forever. So we're hearing how in this particular Leela, in the 10th canto, how Rukmini, although a young girl, a princess, but everyone knew that she was supposed to marry Krishna. That was the plan, that Rukmini will marry Krishna, but Rukmi, her brother, didn't like the idea, and he wanted to favor Shishupal. And although the father of Rukmini, he wanted also the marriage, but somehow to satisfy his son, they made all the arrangements that, okay, it's not going to happen. So Jarasandha and all the Shishupal and all the Dantavakra and different personalities who were playing the role of antagonistic against Krishna, they didn't like the idea. And they came with their armies, not just for the wedding ceremony, but to fight. I think in the Kshatriya spirit, usually there's always that red, indication of the marriage. There's always some blood drawn, that if you're going to marry, you have to show that you're a warrior and your chivalrous, powerful nature. You have to fight for your queen. So Rukmini sent a very confidential brahmana, and it was also, the rumor was there. They knew that she sent somebody and they were expecting. And when that letter was read to Krishna, Rukmini was disclosing that, I've heard of your glories, your beauty. I'm your sold-out maidservant. Somehow or other, if I've done anything auspicious, I know it's pretty bold of me as a young girl to make such a proposal. It's not right. But still, I feel that you should come. And don't worry about killing relatives. I have a plan, because she was the daughter of a king, so she also had diplomatic understanding of how to maneuver the whole situation. So she planned her own capture. They call it a Rakshasa wedding, that when you steal the bride. So the whole plan was made, and the Brahmana said, if you're going to do this, then we have to act quickly, because Dwaraka and Kundina Vaidarbhi was 1,000 miles away. So Krishna arranged with his charioteer, and all the wonderful horses are described. And in one night, he brought the Brahmanan with him, and within 12 hours, he made it 1,000 miles. Krishna could have done it immediately, but just to be dramatic. And even Krishna was saying that I have a hard time, sometimes can't sleep thinking of Rukmini. He was actually expressing that, yes, this is my intention as well. I want to marry Rukmini. She's the goddess of fortune. I know there was some classes before saying she's the incarnation of this and that, but ultimately Srimati Radharani, which is also Krishna himself. When Krishna wants to enjoy in this world, he doesn't find any mundane personality. He expands himself with his spiritual potency in the form of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani can't exist without Krishna, and Krishna doesn't exist without Srimati Radharani, because that loving, Krishna's Sat Chidananda Vigraha, full of knowledge, full of bliss, full of eternity. We also have, in a minute quantity, the same attributes of eternality. So then Chaitanya Leela comes into play, that when Krishna wants to understand what is that love that Srimati Radharani feels for Krishna, in order to try to understand it, he merges with Srimati Radharani, and out comes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the complexion of Srimati Radharani, and then showing how to achieve that love by being a devotee and by practicing devotional service, bhakti, teaching Rupa Goswami about the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, teaching Sanatan Goswami about the process of bhakti and how we can cultivate that same love. So we're hearing and seeing the intensity of love between Rukmini and Lord Krishna, but it's very dramatically performed. Krishna is not some dry, effulgent light, some Brahma Jyoti, that eventually, after all our meditation, hard work, we merge into a light that has no qualities. Krishna is full of qualities, but not mundane qualities, transcendental qualities. And Balaram, he knew the danger that was taking place, so he put together his own Yadu army and the soldiers and chariots and elephants, and he also quickly came to Kundina. And what's the father's name? Something Ghosh? Bhishma Ghosh. At any rate, all arrangements were being made for everyone, and all the citizens here are expressing their heartfelt feelings. They wanted Krishna to marry the new queen, or the princess of Vaidarbhi, known Vaidarbha, known as Vaidarbhi, Rukmini Devi. And so now the procession is happening. She's in anxiety. She doesn't see the Brahmana, doesn't see Krishna. So in her mind, she's feeling, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I didn't worship Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva properly. and Brahma stopped Krishna, or, well, why would he do that? I'm just a young girl. He shouldn't, interfere. But Lord Shiva is known as Rudra, and Durga, Parvati, Rudrani, she sometimes gives trouble. So in her mind, she was feeling that possibly, although we're daily worshiping Durga, but not for although the royal family, as a family tradition, was worshiping Durga and Lord Shiva, all the elderly ladies, Brahmana ladies, they were chanting all the proper mantras, worshiping Shiva, but they're all the princesses at that time, they were actually Vaishnavas, and even though worship of Shiva, Lord Shiva is Gopeshwar, Mahadev, he's the greatest Vaishnava, the greatest devotee, and his role in this world is to facilitate, and although many demonic personalities worship Durga or Kali or Lord Shiva for the purposes of material power, just how to enjoy and exploit this world. But that was not what Rukmini was doing. Also, all the gopis were worshiping Katyayani so that Krishna can become their husband and have that relationship. From a mundane platform, that's why it's recommended and demanded that one follow very systematically through the Srimad Bhagavatam, understanding Janmad Yasya Yaton Vayaditratascha Teshu Vigyasvarat Tene Brahma, that this material world is created by the Lord, maintained by Him, and all His various incarnations are meant to reestablish religious principles and help guide us. But there's always this major confusion going on in the material world, constant battles, constant envy, jealousy, fighting. And this is a result of leaving our eternal relationship with Krishna in the spiritual world. Some people may claim that we've never been in the spiritual world, we came from the Brahma Jyoti, or we eternally conditioned. But my limited realization is that Prabhupada often says throughout his teachings, his lectures, and his books, that we've forgotten Krishna somehow. We've fallen into this material world, and we're given unlimited bodies. Just imagine, on this earth there are bodies in the air, bodies in the water, bodies on land. Many, many different forms of life are here. And out of all the millions and trillions of living entities, they're all eternal spirit souls. You have some human beings. But among human beings, there are those who are civilized and uncivilized, religious, those who believe in God and those who don't. They want to dismiss that there's no God. You can do whatever you want. This is by chance. We happen to appear in this world. So what if the sun is rising daily and there's unlimited stars and planets and everything's rotating beautifully and there's so many fruits and flowers and vegetables? Who likes nice fruits, They're so delicious. Everything's packed perfectly. The human form is so complex. It doesn't happen by chance. I mean, all these bombs that are going off all over the world, in Africa and other parts of the world, anything good coming out of it? And any incredible creations coming out of the explosion, the Big Bang Theory? Imagine, when you envision a Big Bang, you see nothing but rubble and destruction. Look at the backside where we're banging every day. It's nothing but rubble over there. We're hoping that something can manifest, though. Something will manifest soon. So this is Krishna's Leelas, very exciting. And unless we have proper guidance and systematically follow the order of the Guru, this is why we offer humble obeisances, that's showing respect to devotees. Lord Shiva, he takes Gangama on his head because that comes from the toe of Vamanadev, the Lord. So also Lord Shiva is described as the Lord, also Shakti-Vesh Avatar, as the supreme demigod. And we can't try to, put him in a little box and try to figure out, well, who is Lord Shiva, the appearance of Lord Shiva, and what is his purpose? Lord Shiva is extremely powerful. And Mother Durga, she's the Mother Nature. And by their combination, all the living entities are given facility, human form, material bodies. They're given a facility to try to enjoy, keep pursuing your dreams. People say you have to follow your dreams. So everyone's dreaming how to be happy in this world, but unfortunately, unless they were greatly fortunate, Brahmanda Brahmite Konya Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach, most living entities are left to struggle in the material world, life after life, and a multitude of different forms. And if you watch the nature shows, what goes on underwater, it's a whole survival of the fittest. One little fish is eating another fish, and this crab, and this octopus, and sharks, and then what to speak of. Even in the History Channel, they say, oh, there were giants. Look at the size of the foot. Look at these skeletons. Huge giants existed. So we're living in a very limited understanding. The scientists, with a few little spaceships up in outer space, are trying to figure out what is this world about. That's like mental speculation. Philosophically, those who are a little bit more capable of juggling words, they like Darwin theory, and then you have so many others who are putting together many different philosophies of life. But without the Guru Parampara descending system that we're following, we're in the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, there's the Rudra Sampradaya, also called the Vallabha Sampradaya. There are different Sampradayas meant for those who have exhausted their attempts to enjoy in this life, enjoy in this world, and who are fortunate enough to meet a bona fide spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada is that one that was indicated by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and empowered by Krishna, by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, to spread the message of Krishna consciousness all over the world. So this is a pastime here, a few chapters, several chapters are dedicated because Krishna, he loves every living entity in a personable way, just like a parent may have many children, but it doesn't mean that the love is not there, the reciprocation is not there. And Rukmini is portraying also a living entity that we want Krishna, we're looking for Krishna, but we just don't have the proper understanding of how to achieve that. We're thinking that Krishna can be found in the form of, my family, my tradition, my culture. I was born in a particular place and time with a particular body, so identify with this body, or I'm European, or I'm American, I'm African, I'm Indian, and why are you presenting a different God, a different religion? So this idea of trying to be happy in the material world was expressed by Arjuna also, that he was playing the role of a conditioned soul who's struggling in this life. And we're learning lessons from Bhagavad Gita. We're learning lessons daily from Srimad Bhagavatam. And what we've been given is chanting, dancing, and feasting. Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty, right? There's no difficulty, but we're just stubborn and refuse to give up our ego, give up our mental plans and concoctions of what we think is the right way to go about it. Yeah, we have to use our ingenuity, we have to use our intelligence and our mind, but for the service of Krishna. We have to be convinced that somehow or other, let me surrender to this process of devotional service. And the best way of doing that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. That if we're hearing daily, Nityang Bhagavat, Nastapareshu, Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya, daily hearing Bhagavatam, we know we're rascals. We know we have a tendency of cutting corners and deviating, and I don't feel like doing it. Today I don't feel like, it's just the mind. The mind we've been slaves for the mind and senses for billions of years and trillions of years, life after life after life after life. And rarely does one ever get the opportunity to come to devotional service. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, feeling the intense anxiety for the suffering of the conditioned souls, Lord Shiva, he's feeling the pain of the suffering of living other beings. That's why he fulfills everyone's desires. Ashutosh, very easily pleased, but also very easily angered too. That you keep coming up with your nonsense, then you're going to feel Rudra's. No one has ever become fully satisfied in this material world. There's a reflection of happiness, and although Rukmini was feeling very sad and feeling full of anxiety, so much so that tears were, she was hiding it, but then tears started flowing from her eyes. And she was just in anxiety that this can't be, maybe like Mother Sati was frustrated, so she took her own life, and then came as Parvati. Maybe she wants me to take my life, and life after life, I'll wait for Krishna. I'll serve Krishna. So it's an intense determination, showing that in order to achieve anything of any value in this world, we need to dedicate our time in a diligent, in a very systematic way, with enthusiasm, determination, and also patience too. We need this utsahan nishchayat daryat tat karma pavartanat. Enthusiasm, determination, and patience. But in the meantime, one can also see by the examples of Dhruva Maharaj, he has such determination. A little boy, mother said, you can find the Lord in the forest. And so Narada Muni was sent. He's just a little boy, but he had great determination, the son of a king. And Narada Muni was saying, no, look, you're just a little boy. Come back later when you're grown up. You can, no need to be so austere and perform all this meditation and worship. You're a young child. And Dhruva Maharaj said, no, if you can't help me out, then I'm not really interested. So Narada Muni gave him which mantra? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In Madhuvan, just here in Vrindavan, Madhuvan, Dhruva Maharaj performed great austerities, yagyas, and so much so that choked out the whole universe practically. And the Lord personally appeared before Dhruva Maharaj and was ready to give all kinds of benedictions. Whatever you want. Take a benediction. I was looking for broken pieces of glass, but I have the diamond, the jewel. And what he wanted was a service to his Guru Maharaj, Narada Muni. And all the great souls, when given an opportunity for a benediction, liberation, the same bodily form as the Lord, living on the same planet as the Lord, the same opulences, they don't want any of that. Devotee, he's fully satisfied and busy focusing on how to serve the Lord nicely. Prabhupada's whole mood was how to glorify Krishna. He never took credit for himself. Oh, Swamiji, or you've done such wonderful work. He says, I don't know any mystic yoga. Although a pure devotee has all the siddhis, how they say, oh, Lord Jesus walked on water. So, no comparison. But that description is there throughout the Bhagavatam, how one can perform miraculous activities. They can travel, they can capture a fruit thousands of miles away and have it ready for you. And we can't, in our limited, tiny brains, understand the power of mysticism or yoga. But we're so covered over, it's like if you have a thick, heavy cloth over a light, you don't see the light. But as you refine the cloth, maybe put a lighter cloth, you can see a dim reflection, and you keep taking the coverings off one by one by one. then you see the brilliance. So the spirit soul is brilliant like Krishna and has eternal power. In this Vrindavan Dham, when Krishna came, he brought Vrindavan with him. They say that this Vrindavan Dham here in UP is the spiritual world. It's non-different than the spiritual world, non-different than Krishna. But in order to have the eyes to see that, we have to give up what? Sense gratification. And that's a hard one because we're all very addicted to somehow catering to what makes us happy. And if it's not in line with serving Krishna and devotional service, it becomes detrimental. It's like you have this bhakti lata bij, this seed of devotion is given by the Guru and Krishna, and our daily watering of hearing and chanting about Krishna is nurturing that bhakti lata bij. But what else is happening? All the weeds are getting the water too. And they all start growing and choke out the creeper. So we have to be very careful, mindful. It's not a mindless process. Devotional service is very ecstatic, very vibrant, and very joyfully performed. So whatever it takes, if we're feeling difficulty or morose, unhappy, sometimes depression. Many people struggle in this world with depression. The mind is troubling. Ariatmika, Aridaivika, Aribodhika, other living entities are troubling, just like Rukmini was being troubled by all these princes and kings, and everyone was so much bewildered by her beauty also. When Rukmini, she had just the way her appearance was so enchanting that all the Kshatriya princes who all thought that she could be mine, they all fell off practically unconscious. And so Krishna took that opportunity that while they're all totally bewildered, lying around on the ground, fascinated, bewildered about the beauty and thinking about how they can also have that for their enjoyment. Krishna, like a lion, just took Rukmini very calmly on his chariot and didn't frantically run away, just went off easily. And they were all bewildered. Jarasandha said, how is it that we're again being defeated by this coward? So many insults they always throw at Krishna, this jackal. Rukmini's meant for us lions, but it was actually described the other way, that Krishna, being like the supreme lion, these very minor little animals, these little hyenas, are barking, and Krishna just took Rukmini on his chariot. But then all the armies are chasing Krishna. So Balaram and the Yadus, they came to defend their Krishna. And all the battle is raging, and so Rukmini was so much in anxiety. Krishna could see in her eyes she was feeling, because of me, and so much trouble. He said, don't worry. Very soon our army will destroy all those. So we may think, well, how is it that so many people are being killed, and horses, animals, elephants, and they're piled up? And it got to the point where the big Jarasandha and Dantavakra and all the other armies were thinking, well, for Shishupal, it's not worth losing our whole army. So they kind of just retreated and kind of told Shishupal, it's okay, gave him some kind of consolidated words to pacify him. And Shishupal, you'll see later on that he was so angry that Krishna was being honored, and he was totally against Krishna. But there was some promise there that until so many insults came, and then Krishna engaged Sudarshan Chakra to kill Shishupal, right? What a story. But we have so many beautiful stories, wonderful stories. So much Srila Prabhupada in the early, or he came in 65, then again he became ill. So much struggle to come. Then he had to go back to India to recover his health and strength in 1967. So he said, really the society didn't really start growing till 1968 when Prabhupada came back, although many of the young disciples in the new temples were feeling that Prabhupada may never come back because he was so ill. And then how Prabhupada was pushing forward, and then he wanted the books to be printed, so that the Chaitanya Charitamrita was his giving him shelter, giving him solace and relief. So teachings of Lord Chaitanya came out early, 1970, I believe. And then Krishna book came out early, the 10th canto, because Prabhupada kept saying, I'm an old man, I could leave at any time. But he wanted to give so much to all his disciples and followers for the future. And then we see how the Srimad Bhagavatam continued. I was always amazed. I was reading how Prabhupada, after bringing many of his disciples back to India, how he wanted to establish Mayapur, Bombay, Vrindavan, and the struggle. And even though all of us had no idea how to work within the Indian atmosphere, so many pandals were put together when 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people were coming. And then Prabhupada, it was being respected and by so many, but still there was those who were envious and feeling that, he just had a lucky break, he went at the right time, and somehow or other he happened to get a few Malecha followers, and they were pretty upset about that why these Malechas should have any Brahminical opportunities to do the worship. But we see how Prabhupada encouraged the male Dharma Krishna Nam Sankirtan. This is the culture. And when he saw how much attractive, actually many of the people came to see Bhaktivedanta Swami and also the foreign devotees. How is it that these foreign devotees from Africa, from Europe, from America, and Canada, from Australia, they're coming and they're chanting and dancing and performing the Yuga Dharma, Sankirtan Dharma. And it's just amazing. This is the prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This is the message of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And even though there was the Gaudiya Math, many of Prabhupada's godbrothers were not willing to facilitate or even appreciate the wonderful contribution that Srila Prabhupada gave to the world of spreading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message to everybody. Prite vite acha yada nagaradi gram sarvatra prachara hoibe moranam. Kibra vipra kibra nashi shudra kene no ye Krishna vat say guru hoy. That doesn't matter if you're a shudra, if you're born in a high-class family, low-class family. Rupa and Sanatana Goswami became degraded, rejected from Brahminical community. They were considered Muslims serving the Shah, and practically speaking, almost untouchable. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And there were some come from great families. Raghunath Das Goswami, his family, like the richest family, super, super rich. And the Goswamis, they were very educated, very aristocratic, very wealthy. But this is not the prerequisite. This is not the criterion that, oh, you have to be born in a Brahmana family, or you have to be, of a certain color or certain race. This was totally smashed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Śrīla Prabhupada. And by following the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panca Tattva, we can actually help to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. It's more than a miracle what Prabhupada accomplished in the form of establishing temples and communities and farm projects and schools, and then working all day long, doing one program after another, traveling, coming home late. All devotees are exhausted. They crawl into their sleeping bag or bed. In a couple hours, he's up, light on, translating Bhagavatam. So it's hard to imagine that Krishna can actually empower the devotees. So we have to follow Prabhupada's footsteps. Not that we can imitate. We can't work all day long and rest for 20 minutes and get up and do it again. But Krishna can empower the devotees. But we have to be very steady and regulated. And it seems like Srila Prabhupada, he did what he had to do in a miraculous way, and also leaving for us so much opportunity for preaching Krishna consciousness. It's said that when that poison, when the demigods and the demons were churning, the poison came out from the, what do they call it? The poison was actually, it says, spreading throughout the universe. And the demigods and Lord Vishnu personally came to Lord Shiva, and they think, well, if Vishnu was there, what was the need of going to Lord Shiva? Because he wanted to honor Lord Shiva, that he can, Mahadev, the great devotee. And Lord Shiva, of course, consulted his good wife Parvati that, look, there's danger that everybody's going to be poisoned, so, he put the whole poison in the palm of his hand, and he drank that poison, so he had a bluish, Nilakanta, he's got that blue neck. And he was given, Lord Ramchandra worshiped Lord Shiva. Shiva's worshipping Aniruddha and worshipping Krishna. So we never disrespect the demigods. We don't disrespect Lord Shiva. We honor Lord Shiva as the greatest Vaishnava. And but not for the sake of enjoying this material world, but just understanding that they're instrumental in the Lord's creation and performing various duties. The demigods are performing many duties. Things don't happen just automatically. The air circulation, the rainfall, all the seeds, all the different aspects of the Lord's creation is very detailed, very calculated and expertly exhibited. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shriyate. Krishna's powers are manifest automatically. So just in the same way that Lord Shiva was given the facility to save the whole universe by drinking the poison and be honored for that, and Srila Prabhupada's given all of us an opportunity to also distribute books and preach and do like Prabhupada did, spread this Krishna consciousness movement, keep the temple clean, dress the deities beautifully. He was also mentioning that we could, in Bombay and Vrindavan, make high-rises where important, influential people can come and stay and worship the deity. We think, oh, it's mundane, we should just keep it, maybe we should just live under trees. we'll just all go to Radha-kunj, live under a tree. That may be good for someone very, very advanced, but none of us are really that advanced. Maybe some great souls are there. And we should follow the mood of Bhaktisiddhanta and Śrīla Prabhupada, that everything should be used in the service of Krishna. Whether it's we're driving in a car or flying in a plane or using the microphones and all these wireless microphones that sometimes work and don't work. But, so many facilities are there for the purpose of preaching. Then if you use everything in Krishna's service, that's the proper utilization of everything. But if we falsely renounce, no, we can't do any of that. Prabhupada wanted the guest houses and the different facilities so that the common people can come and see the beauty of the deities and hear the kirtan and take prasadam. When Prabhupada was seeing prasadam distributed, it made him very happy. So he said, this should go on forever. So we're Nilamadhava Prabhu. He's doing nice seva of distributing prasad to all the pilgrims and guests. We may fall short many places, obviously, we're conditioned souls, but the more book distribution, the more we can develop the qualities of Vaishnava and appreciating other Vaishnavas. Sometimes we have fights, sometimes we have disagreements, isn't it? All embodied souls, we all have some disagreements and fights, but we have to maturely try to reconcile, because Prabhupada said, your love for me will be shown how you cooperate together to spread this mission of Krishna consciousness. So we have a great opportunity, and we'll continue hearing this Leela unfolding of Krishna and Rukmini, and we're extremely fortunate to have an opportunity to hear about Krishna, Krishna's beauty, hear about Vrindavan, and the process of devotional service. We should consider ourselves beyond lucky. Thank you very much. Śrīla Prabhupada ki. And a few minutes for questions, if anyone has any questions or comments. We'll see if the microphone works. Here comes one of the wireless technologies.
थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी, आपने बहुत ही अच्छा प्रसंग है कि शिवा का जो शिवा इज ए मटेरियल ऑफ materialic word है, master of material world. So, but the another point is that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, God God, generator, operator, damager. So Shiva is a damager. So due to this materialic vast, the ecology front is very degraded everywhere, in whole, not in India, whole world, due to materialic activity. So what is the paradigm shift to the, according to Purport literature, to how to make the ecological footprint increases so the life can be beautiful.
Yes, this is Kali Yuga, and we've gone through many Kali Yugas. The Satya Yuga thing, everybody's very pious, great qualities, and Treta, Dwapara. Now Kali has progressed over 5,000 years and things are very, very degraded. But it's said that the golden age of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, next 10,000 years, will manifest in the sense of many people will take up this chanting of Krishna's holy name, hearing Bhagavatam, and despite the difficulties and the struggle of Kali Yuga and the ego clashes and fighting that's taking place and degraded time that we're living in, Kaler dosha idhe, that one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, that it's full of all bad qualities, but the one good quality is the chanting of the holy name. So we have to faithfully keep following Mahajana Jainagata Sapanta. The Mahajanas are culminated in, and Prabhupada is representing the whole Guru Parampara. So if we follow Prabhupada's instructions, if we ourselves work on ourselves, I said, if a doctor is sick, he can't help the patients, So it's our first important, most important duty is that we ourselves become Krishna. We take the medicine. So let's take the medicine, hearing and chanting, try to serve the Vaishnavas and have that mood that everyone is servant of Krishna. And sometimes, we may like or not like certain things in people, but if we keep working on ourselves and developing our own Krishna consciousness, then everything will fall into place somehow. We're depending on Krishna that it'll fall into place. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, as you were giving the example, all of them, they come and join together from different countries, different places. We see how Prabhupada united everyone. Where we see outside material world, they are trying to unite, but they cannot be united. So Prabhupada said, this is how we can unite by chanting Hare Krishna and making everyone Krishna consciousness. We see China and these people, they are fighting, but when they come in Krishna consciousness, they are one.
That's right. That's beautiful. If you look at the news, really nothing exciting about the news, but they see, like in Africa, the biggest, there's all kinds of starvation and all kinds of suffering and millions of people, what to speak of Israel, Gaza, so many battles are taking place all over. There's struggle everywhere. It's all due to the bodily concept of life. That if you're not my religion, if you're not of my people, then we're going to fight, And this is a misunderstanding that's basically maintaining the material world, that everyone is on the bodily concept of life. And it's hard to get free. It's hard to get freed from the bodily concept. But if we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These are not just words. Krishna, with all his potency, is there in the holy name. And if we're actually calling out to the Lord, somehow I've fallen in this material world of birth and death. Please pick me up, engage me in your service. It's a beautiful prayer. You don't have to tax your brain about thinking so many poetic expressions. Just chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Prabhupada said you should read Bhagavatam all day long. By reading Bhagavatam and hearing this philosophy all day, you're chanting the names of the Lord, and you'll be more enthusiastic to keep chanting, right? So we have to nityang Bhagavata say. That means eternally. Satatang kirtayanto mang. Krishna's guiding us, Prabhupada's guiding us, so chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Srila Prabhupada ki.